Two. Take two.
Hey. I could help.
No audio, apparently. No audio. No audio. Yep. No, that's funny.
I know why my back was hurting.
That better?
Yeah, we've got to wait for the chat to come through. Steve Parsons just said no sound. Yeah.
Okay.
Chat, let us know when you've got sound.
All right.
Then Robert Lonas just said you got it now.
All right. So carrying on from last week's foibles. Hi, everybody. Special guest today, Sam Downs, and had difficult week, long week, blah blah blah. Hope to do better this evening, although the day is not shaping up that great. Yeah. So, how you doing there, Sully? Let's get to you real quick and then move on.
Yeah. Well, apparently we got so distracted talking to Sam in pre-show, we completely skipped over audio checks and levels and all of that.
Yeah.
And today, I mean, this is my 4 days at home for the month. So this time I didn't pack up my PC. I was just like, now I'll just do a phone stream today. I don't want to lug all that stuff around. So I'm just on my phone. I don't have my whole setup. But all in all, though, I had an amazing week. I really did. I hit some very important personal milestones earlier in the week. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about all that. I'm not really going to get into it all, but between that and just coming home and being able to get all of the stuff handled I needed to handle done, and I was going to, if you guys recall, we were talking about that special video I was going to make, and I was going to film that this weekend, but when I left work to come here, I made it about 2 miles from the yard and realized, oh, I forgot this. And I went back and I got whatever that was. I made it 25 miles from the yard and realized I forgot to do my paperwork for the week. So I had to turn around and go back and do all my paperwork, turn in my time. And then I got about halfway back the third time and I realized I forgot my hammer, I forgot my tongs, I forgot my tripod, I forgot everything. And I was like, I don't care. I'm going. I'm not turning around and going back again. And so that kind of delayed my. I'll probably do it this week if I get a day where it's not smoldering hot in the yard. I'll probably do it just at work at my shop there at the yard. So I mean that kind of got pushed back a little bit. But other than that, like all of my other little side projects that I had for this weekend are all done, and so now I can just sit around and have a chit chat, and I don't have to sit here and worry about, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. Nope. I am good. I am caught up. Yeah, it's been a great week. How about you guys there, Sam and Adam?
I've been absolutely flat stick. I haven't stopped for months, which I don't know if anyone's been paying attention, but I got married this weekend. So yesterday would have been early yesterday morning US time. But for me, it was 4:30 p.m. yesterday. I became a married man, and I've been focusing on that for the last week or so. Drank far too much alcohol. I drank for 11 hours near on straight yesterday. Family and friends from all over the world. Sam blessed me by, and he's lovely. His lovely partner blessed me by coming up and actually taking part in my wedding, which was wonderful. And yeah, we've had a lot of laughs and some good times. So that's basically all I've been focused on was the wedding. And we haven't had a chance to swing a hammer. Probably won't because my workshop's not built yet.
It's also fucking hot.
Yeah, it's not that hot. This has been going on all week.
If Adam no longer just suddenly disappears off the face of the planet before I leave the Northern Territory, you'll know why. I'll have stuck him face first in a bonfire and just kept telling him it's not that hot.
Last time I was down at your place, it was freaking cold and I was just about standing in your forge.
Yes, this is true.
But yeah. No, it's been good fun. So got some really nice photos out of it, and of course I gained a wonderful wife and another couple dozen family members. So that was good fun, and I'm pretty sure Sam's had a pretty good time.
Nah,
Enough.
I don't know why I came. Honestly.
Sam's also the first blacksmith that actually has been to the new home of Weygers Forge, and seen the work I have slowly been doing to try and get something going. But he also got to see those the drive hooks that I made for the hurricane lanterns firsthand, and got to see the setup that I did for the reception. So yeah. What about you, Sam?
It's been good. I was flat out this week in the lead up to coming up here because I kind of decided last minute to make Adam and his fiance a pair of wedding gifts, which you'll see on my Instagram.
Nothing live.
Give me a second.
Those are the best.
Yeah, so I kind of just flat out just went at it, and people have been asking me if I filmed the process. No, I didn't have the time. God, this is worrying me. That's the score that I made, Adam.
Nice.
I love it. Some of my HEMA club members actually came and were at the wedding as well, and they loved it. It took them about 2 hours to put it down. And now Sam's got a couple more orders. So.
Yes. So I kind of just rushed through making those, and then we got up here on Thursday. My beautiful girlfriend and I got up here. And yeah, we've had a great time. I've been drunk for the last 3 days straight. Adam is a terrible influence.
I am not. I'm just a Territorian.
This is true.
Sam looks very nervous.
That is so cool.
He's waving steel implements around my head. I don't trust Adam at all. Actually, can I show them the box? Because I didn't make the box for this wand. My dad came up with the idea. My father is an amazing woodworker, and I originally came up with the idea to just have the wand inlaid in a piece of wood and just have a lid on it. But he's like, it would be really cool if as you open the box, it raises.
Oh, cool.
And that also forms a display box. So it all nestles together. So yeah, it's a pretty cool design.
And my wife loved that. She just about squealed when she got it, so it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made sure, James, that now Adam has a pirate sword to hit people with.
Now you got to make a sword for the misses too, so that they have argument swords. Whenever they get into an argument, you're like, all right, let's take this to the hangar.
I'm not getting sword in any argument.
Let's settle this with a duel.
Yes.
Well, now we have 2 stores that we can dual with. So,
But yeah, it's been great. We showed up here, and Adam's place is wonderful, and his family and the friends that I've got to meet. Because like this is the first time coming to the Northern Territory. This is the first time there hanging out with Adam for any real amount of time. Like he's come down to my shop before. You guys have probably seen him there and heard about it.
Yeah.
But most of the time we've just spent time in the shop. We haven't actually spent time privately. So it's been really nice to catch up and just sit around doing nothing and talking for a while. And I've got to meet a lot of his friends and family, and they're all pretty cool people. So it's been really cool.
and just as crazy and wacky.
if not more so. But yeah, no, it's been really fun, and it's been really nice to get away from town for a while because things have been a bit fucking mad over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been good, and when I found out I was going to be here for the Sunday night, I had to be here.
Absolutely.
On the show. So good to see everyone.
Well, we appreciate you.
I managed to convince him to come over from
Yeah, I had to give up a week of my winter to come up here. And Adam's like, "Oh no, it's beautiful. It's nice and cold. It's been fucking 35 and humid as hell the entire time I've been up here."
But everyone that he has spoken to has said, yeah, it was really, really nice up until like the day before.
Literally the moment I got here, it went to hell. And the thing is, like the hottest day thus far was the day of the wedding.
Mm.
So we were all standing out there, and it was absolutely blisteringly hot, and we're all sweating buckets while we're watching him get married. And all I'm thinking is, hurry the fuck up, hurry the fuck up, hurry the fuck up.
Then as soon as the sun went down, right, it was beautiful. Like
Yeah,
it was
nice.
a wonderful temperature, not too hot, not too cold, and the ambience was great. And we even had a fire going. Like we were pretty far away from the fire.
We didn't need more heat.
No.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I'm noticing something here. So over here in the States, like the southern states are the hotter, obviously closer to the equator, northern hemisphere. And, you get the snowbirds that come down from the north during the winter, to enjoy the subtropical and tropical weather. And, it's like here in the south, we go, damn northerners, it's like, so hearing this, it's like, you damn southerner.
None of us are stupid enough to travel north to get hot. We wait. I mean, like Alex, my co-host from the Forgecast, and most of you will know, Valheim Ironworks, he posted today on his Instagram showing the frost because it's like been
I saw that.
Yeah. And I just had to flip him the bird because he always tells me about how cold it is down there, and I hate him for it.
Yeah.
And see, on the opposing side, I freaking hate the cold, right? So Sam's actually come up, and I've always said we're a different breed up here, and Sam's come up here and met the type of people that live here, and sees we are all like nuts.
Yep. The funniest thing is that like every Territorian I've met refuses to drink water, but because it's friggin' so hot and humid all the time, they have to be constantly drinking, which is why every Territorian you meet sounds like they're drunk, because they are.
We'll have a tolerance.
They're operating on a standard level of like 0.2 BAC.
Right. Maintain those levels.
Yeah.
That's the reason why the rum is never gone.
Yeah, that's it. The rum is always here.
The distilleries are.
Where is the rum gone? It's in the Northern Territory. I swear. I think we've tried, because Adam has a whole bunch of homebrew. So we've tried like 15 different rums, and we were mixing them to try and make them palatable, because he's got some of the old ones that aren't very good.
Not very palatable. That's the reason why I've still got them, because they weren't very drinkable.
Yeah. But no, it's been really good, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my girlfriend. She absolutely pushed it through, because she paid for the flights.
And she's lovely. She is spectacular. She is definitely our people's, like my people's, the type of people that I hang around with. Of course, Sam is as well, but these two go together really well. And
anyone who goes to see me at Blade Show next year at Atlanta will meet Elle as well, because she'll be there with me.
And she's awesome, and she's just as wacky as the rest.
If not more so.
It's cool. I love it. So let's hit up the chat. We've had a few more people jump in whilst we've been gas bagging.
I see Wayne. Hello, Wayne.
Hello, Wayne. Also, I know I said it when I was having an audio issue, but a huge thank you to Jack Pines Blacksmithing. He joined the channel member list as a local, which I can't quite remember. I have to pull it up to find out what all that means. I know it's a Bubba local, and then the top one is You Scare Me. But huge thank you to you for that. Yeah. John Jude, welcome. Wayne, hi. Donut, what's up? Deranged, how you doing? Let me see. Comments. I know Sprinkled Donuts talking about the heat hype. Some hobbits went into his shop and threw a ring in there. Y'all are muted.
Yeah, they're on push to talk.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. The reason for that is because we don't have two sets of headphones, we're playing through the speakers, so you guys will get feedback if we don't. So
Yeah,
right. So yeah.
So we'll try and jump in as much as possible, just like clicking and talking. But yeah, if you see us chatting to each other and there's no sound, that's the reason why. But it's also, but if there's anything important or it's our turn to talk, and we'll just jump in and we'll talk over topics anyway.
yeah, we're rude Australians. We'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And big congratulations on your wedding. It's like I saw you earlier in the month sharing pictures of the plans and the setups and the mason jars with the lights and those long drive hooks, which are amazing. And a tear grew to my, because I like home built weddings. Like I love that stuff. My wedding was on a beach with bamboo and the ocean like right there. So them non home built weddings I think are the best, and you had some real cool features that you did.
Yeah, and I mean Adams ran without a hitch. Like it went really smoothly. Like it all went really well. It was laid out really well, and everyone kind of did their bit.
and yeah, it was practically a home built wedding. Like everything from the arbor to all my lights set up and stuff like that was all homemade.
We were talking just before the show about this rubber mallet that's sitting on the computer table because Adam's fiance made the cake and put it in the freezer to stop the icing from melting when she put it on, but then she had to put the chopsticks in to rigidify it and needed a hammer to put them in.
She's when she's asked for it, she's leaned out the window and said, Adam, do you have a hammer that I can use that's relatively soft? Don't ask questions. And I'm kind of like, well, darling, what do you need that? Like, it's rubber mallet, timber mallet, brass mallet. What type of mallet do you need? What type of hammer do you need? And she's going, oh, rubber will do. So yeah, wash it off, and there she is, knocking these chopsticks through this frozen cake. So, but yeah, I mean, all in all, we of course we held it out on the property here, so people didn't have to travel too far, and I'd say we probably, cost wise, we were well under 10K for the cost, but it's all legal and whatnot, so we did well. And yeah, I'm just glad I had so many people that I adore and love that come to celebrate it with me. But of course, there were a lot of people that I should have invited that I missed just because it was so.
I would have been there if I could.
Yeah, and again, there's a lot of people I would have invited if they could have come as well. But like everything was just so hectic and frantic, and even then, like at the last minute, within the last week, there was like 8 people that weren't able to show up either from interstate.
Someone called you when you were standing at the altar. Like
just before the ceremony started, they called me up and said, "Look, I'm really sorry. I'm not going to be able to make it today. I'm feeling really crook, and I don't want to infect everyone." So it was like, yeah. So and it was just like, yeah. So everything was happening, but like Sam said, it went off without a hitch, and surprisingly. There was no major incident. Like there's always a major incident at a wedding. I didn't have a major incident. There wasn't one, which was absolutely. And this is with a whole heap of territories drinking rum and a whole heap of people from all over the world drinking rum and Jacks and beer and Jimmy and Johnny Walker and all sorts and wine. There was nothing, not an issue. Like not even raised voices in frustration. Like there were a lot of raised voices and yelling and laughter. And
everyone's trying to talk over each other
and bagging the crap out of each other, but like there's I was a part of a lot of it, but it was really, really good day.
Glad it all went smooth. It's something like that. There's always bound to be some sort of catastrophe.
I came across some interesting information this week. About 12 years ago, I bought a bottle of whiskey, just a pint, and it was particulars aside. I bought one, and it's fairly low production. There was only one barrel of it, whatever. But so I drank all but just a little bit of that pint and it was the best whiskey I'd ever had in my life. And I didn't drink the rest of it because I couldn't find another one. There just wasn't another bottle. And once I drank it, it was gone. Well, like 6 months later, I found another one at the same store where I bought the first one. I was like, oh, I'm buying it. It's $75 for a pint. And I immediately went home and finished the other bottle because I was like, woohoo, I finally get to drink it. And I still own that second one, and it's still sealed. And just out of my curiosity, I Googled it probably Wednesday or something like that. And they're going for $1,600 now.
Oh, that's quite an investment.
I know, right? And I was like, well, how many shots are in a pint? I was like, well, 10.5. Well, that means might as well call it 10. It's like, well, heck, that means that whiskey's $160 a shot. And I'd probably never sell it. I imagine someday I'm going to open it and drink it. But that was kind of interesting. I thought. I was like, wow, that's pretty expensive whiskey now.
Right. We got
to. Daniel was saying the Medal of the Week should be the old ball of chain. Adam's got a video on that.
One of my first videos I ever made. Yeah.
There you go.
Funny enough, that was actually for a 25th wedding anniversary present for the clients that actually that ordered it. So so it was actually a wedding present. So yeah,
that's funny. That's funny.
So in other news. Considering that you guys dropped the bombshell a fortnight ago, I have finished editing. Actually, so this is actually a great question to ask the chat because I'm in a bit of a pickle. I'm in a bit of a bind. I'm sitting between two options here. Now I have finished editing. Insofar as I'm just waiting for a response and a couple of people to read through it and give me, because I've been looking at it so much I can't see mistakes anymore. But for all intents and purposes, I've actually finished editing and reformatting and adding to volume 1 of Practical Blacksmithing. And I'm torn because I have one of two options. I can either get onto Kindle and Amazon and release volume 1 as a standalone, right? Which is how the originals were. They were original releases, volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4, separate volumes. Or I can wait and do the once I finish editing the remaining 3, I can release it as a compendium, like most people buy it nowadays, as the 4 volumes in one book. Now, So there's the option there, guys. I'm putting it out the community, letting you all decide. And we'll, Yama's going to say, while we're here, can you whack up a vote in the chat? If I should release it, as 4 individual volumes as I complete them, or hold off and release it as 1 complete volume, because once I release the 4 complete volumes, then I'll be actually starting like either release it all at once or release it in 4 separate lots. Once that's done, then I'll actually be starting to work on the audio book version so that I can get that out there as well. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and leave the vote, and at the end we'll tally it up, and I'll go with what you guys in the community actually go with. Now, I understand for those that might be listening to the Impractical Blacksmithing podcast later on, this is probably going to be a little bit redundant because you won't won't be able to vote. However, when we get a little bit of a vote, we'll go with the well, I'll let you know at the end of the chat, and let you know what Sam voted and clicked on the individual volumes. So that's his vote.
Well, my opinion on it, and Jack Pines kind of mirrored this, is do basically 5 releases, 1 each individual volume, and then a final compendium. Okay.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, why not do each one individually, and then the whole set at the end? I mean, all together in 1 volume. But I mean. And
my logic with that would be garnering interest. Volume 1 of this Practical Blacksmiths redo, Redux or whatever. To get people to read it. And it's less of a, because Practical Blacksmiths is a big book. It gives people a chance to read what you've done so far, discuss it, share it, let people know, and then volume 2 comes out, and those who are following it look forward to it, then 3, then 4, and then you can even do something with Amazon where or whatever, where if you've downloaded the other ones, you can get the compendium, the full download, for, well, I mean, if you have all 4 volumes, you don't really need the compendium then, but yeah.
And the I was intending on, like, if I was going to go to releasing the individual volumes, and then what I was going to do was, once I actually did it all, then releasing the full 4-in-1. So one thing, the reason why I asked is because that also comes down to how I'm going to price it. Of course, like, whilst this book is in the public domain, and as everyone would know, it is being sold on Amazon, the average price for the individual volumes versus the compendium. The compendium is generally between $70 to $112 US, whereas the individual volumes are generally between $30 and $50 US. So what I don't want to penalise those people that wait for the 4 volumes to buy the 4 volumes. So that means I'm going to take into that into account and basically try and price it so that if you buy the 4 individual volumes, it's going to work out to be roughly the same price as the full 4 works.
Sure.
So that's what I'm trying to do. And there's actually going to be 6 releases, because it's going to be about a little bit more than that, because every individual volume is going to have a concurrent release. Because that means what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to release the audio, try and record the audio versions of these volumes and release it roughly at the same time on Audible. And with that, I'm actually going to release just the images only of these volumes, so that if you get the audio version, you can reference the images that are being spoken about in the audio version without having to buy the full text version of what is happening in the Practical Blacksmithing. And that's for those people that either don't read English, or those that might have difficulty reading, like dyslexia or something like that, so that they don't have to pay the full price for the written volume, whilst getting the benefit of what's in them and still having those images. So it's going to be an image only volume, so that they can reference those images. So yeah, that was just that's my plans and that's my thoughts. And I know I'm a little bit chaotic. It is something I've been really excited about. I actually worked on it right up till the night before I went and picked everyone up from the airport because this is a passion project for me. But yeah, and I didn't even see Sam typed something in before and I haven't even read it.
I was just answering Wayne's question because he was asking about the audio.
Are you gonna have David Attenborough read it?
I wish. No,
Morgan Freeman.
The plan at the moment, and what I'd really like, but it's going to take a lot of organising on my end. What I would like is, because the practical blacksmithing is a compendium of articles. What I'd love is to get a group of smiths, preferably, but a group of people to record individual parts. So a article by John Brown is recorded by one voice, and then an article by Mark Smith was recorded by another voice. That's ideally what I'd like to do, so people get the feel. Because one thing that you get, or that I found getting caught up reading Practical Blacksmithing, is those articles kind of blur one into another, where you kind of think that this is all just the author, where it's not. So by being able to have those different voices, we'll be able to switch them up and go, oh, okay, this was a different Smith that was sending this article, this reply to the editor type thing in. So those voices will be able to highlight that. It might not be possible. Again, this is only early stages for recording. It might not be possible. It might just be me doing the whole thing, which apparently there's a lot of people out there that think I have an awesome voice.
No.
Well,
he's got a new sultry voice, but me,
if you go that route, I volunteer, and I'm sure if you were to look up, find Penny Brown and bribe her with some M&Ms or something, she'd probably do it. Everybody misses her voice.
Yeah, well, that would be great, but again, it adds to the complexity of it in the sense of I'd have to approach these people, then make sure that they've got an okay recording set up, and then get them recorded, and then get them back, and then I've got to edit them into sequence that matches the book and the text, and because what I'd probably end up doing is only having like 4 or maybe 5 Smiths to do it, to minimize that shuffling around, but also so that I can go, okay, so here's your parts, here's how many parts you have to record, bang, and then I can piece them together.
And inconsistency in audio quality can be a serious issue, because it becomes very, when you switch from one audio quality conduit to another. It's something we find in like the podcast world a lot when we've got interviewees. Because Alex and I have identical setups, we sound very similar on the Forgecast, and our interviewee will sound entirely different because they're normally recording with much weaker software. And
you guys, and you particularly, Alex, would understand that in the sense of in our change, as we've grown and changed our setups, and even now just having a different room, audio setups are going to be completely different than what we did when my audio was in the office, So again, these are things we have to factor in.
I wanted to ask, so that is considerably frustrating. Like when we do the live show, we're not hearing it on the back end, so we're having a conversation in real time. And then when I go through to edit it, and then one person's audio is down, one person's audio is up, and one is just right, and it's like, oh my gosh, because I can't separate the audio tracks and fix them. I mean, I can only adjust the entire audio track, and it's very frustrating because we've all got a different setup. And I was curious.
There are ways to do that.
I was going to ask a question, and I don't remember what it was. So. The way to do. Never mind.
the way as I understand to do it, what I think you're asking is to have all parties record their voice and then send you all the files, and then you put it together. Because when I was a guest on the Forgecast, they had me record my voice and then send it to them, and they edited it in.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask if you guys, when you guys did your the Forgecast, if it was all separate audio tracks.
So when we started out, we started doing interviews and doing the show over Skype. And so like Skype allowed us to record the call, but the audio quality was crap. That compressed the audio to hell. Didn't matter what recording software you had at home. The audio quality itself was crap, which is why when you listen to the first couple episodes, the audio quality is crap. So what we did was we started encouraging people to record on a separate device or on an app on the computer, like Audacity, and then send us the raw audio file, and then Alex compiled it into the show. These days, we use a platform called Zencaster, which is basically Zoom, but it's specifically for podcasts. And what it does is it actually records each individual audio separately in the call. And then when the call is finished, it gives the person who runs the call all of the raw audio files separately and together at the same time. So it makes it a hell of a lot easier. But yeah,
right,
definitely.
I mean, something as simple as a different microphone makes is going to make a difference in your audio quality.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, when we started, the first 30 episodes, I was recording my audio using my phone. So I was talking to Alex and stuff like that on my computer, and then I was recording my extra audio on my phone. So my audio quality was absolutely crap until I got my proper audio mic for podcast recording. So it is a struggle.
Yeah, I remember during the episode you all had me on, I was vaping back then, and I was watching my levels, my audio levels on the computer during the interview, and they were straight and fine. Even and I would turn my head and vape so I wasn't catching the mic there, but I had forgotten that I had my phone sitting in front of me doing the recording, and it was picking up everything. So during mine, it'd be like I'd be talking, and it's like, oh, that's horrible. I'd love to redo an episode with you guys, just now that I don't vape anymore.
Yeah. But no, it is a struggle. Audio recording in general, I've been looking, I've always wanted to do voice acting and voiceover work and stuff like that. I've actually said to Adam that if he wants me to do part of his Practical Blacksmithing audiobook, I'd be happy to lend my stuff. I've even got a recording booth set up that I'm making for my little room. But yeah, the one thing for doing audiobooks and voiceover and stuff like that is having consistent surroundings and minimizing reflection of noise as much as possible. A lot of the time when we're interviewing and stuff like that, or like today, we're out in the middle of his lounge room, and so the noise is going to be a little bit cavernous. Alex is in his what looks like a shed. And so the noise is going to be weird based on where the sound is coming from into the mic. So a lot of audio recording, podcast recording and stuff like that, you'll hang sheets in front of you, behind the mic and behind you to stop reflection of noise and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I just had a thought, and this is my dumb brain moving.
That's good.
So I keep wanting to call it Impractical. The Practical Blacksmiths book is, what we're discussing is articles written by several different smiths in different eras, in different, expertise levels and this and that. That might actually be, I don't want to call it a novelty or a gimmick, but if you were to have multiple smiths of different levels of experience and quality in recording, and each one is a little bit different, that may be kind of interesting, where each chapter, no?
No.
Okay.
But like when it comes to like experience and stuff like that, I don't think that makes a difference. The audio quality is a huge problem though, because anyone who's listening to an audiobook is going to have it probably plugged into their ears through a set of headphones. And if your audio quality is bad, people just don't want to listen to it.
Yeah.
The reason that a lot of my earlier videos don't get a lot of views is because the audio quality is absolute shit. So it's about like having smooth, even, consistent, and nice to hear audio.
And that even comes through, and this is for those people that do YouTubing videos, just like Sam was saying. Video quality is important, but audio quality is really important. And when you transfer that to audiobooks, where audio quality is the only thing you have, and there's nothing distracting you visually, then it becomes tantamount. So like I understand what you were saying there, yeah, and it's a really good thought experiment, but yeah, so then that's what I'm saying. So it just adds to the complexity of what I'm doing, and I probably will take up a few of those Smiths that had offered, hey, I'd be willing to help you out, because particularly those that I know have good audio setups or voiceover setups for when they're doing their videos or something like that, because that way I know there's a certain level of audio quality there that I can take. Like I said, at the moment I've moved. I don't move the actual my setup. So my audio ranges on this is even different to what I have in my own in my regular office. But that said, I can account for that in my setup. And then I can, as long as I've got that relatively consistent range among those 4 or 5 Smiths, then I can adapt it in there and whatnot. So that's fine. But yeah, again, we're up to, just to give an update on the vote. We're up to 17 votes at the moment.
Only Yama's will be able to.
No, we can see it. So we're currently at 53% for the individual volumes and 47% to wait for the complete works. So individual volumes are currently winning, guys. If you're in the live stream here in the chat, don't forget to click up top and just make a vote on whether you want individual, whether you would prefer the individual volumes released as I complete them, or if you would like the if you would like to wait for the full all-in-one volume, if you think I should wait to release a full all-in-one volume. So yeah, but let's head back to the chat for a second and have a little bit of a catch-up, because we've had a few more people jump in.
Yep. Paul, Roy, Bloobs, Aimless, what's up, guys? Yep. Audio is a big thing. My hearing is bad. Use headphones most of the time, unless it's a channel I follow. If the audio is crap, I skip it. Right. Yeah, that's, I just had those brain shotgun ideas, shotgun thoughts. That's like, that'd be neat. Yeah, it'd be neat, but not practical. Okay.
And no, like it has its value, and especially in podcast format. Like if you were talking about like trying to introduce people to ideas and all that kind of stuff, in that format, the audio isn't as critical because you can bring in interviewees and stuff like that. And if as long as your audio, the key audio, is good, it doesn't matter if your interviewee's audio is a little crap, as long as you're getting the message across. But in like audiobook format, where that is literally what the selling point is, that like this is an audiobook that you are going to listen to, then the audio becomes absolutely paramount.
Yeah.
And while I see him in here, Roy, I would, if you could flick me an email, mate, there. I know I've got your email as well, but I'd like you to flick me an email, because I've got a little bit of a question for you, and it's also regarding this whole practical blacksmithing thing. I'd just like to have a quick chat to you about something that has come up in my noggin. So that'd be really appreciated.
You better do it, Roy, because that's a rare occurrence.
Yeah, I don't think very much.
Either email or right there on Discord. But,
on the Discord works in the private chat or something. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, and speaking of Roy, says shaping sound is as important as shaping light. Yes, that is absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Yeah, one of the best pieces of advice I ever got was not to worry about the camera quality in my YouTube channel when I was getting started, was to control the audio quality. Because people will watch a video where the camera quality is potato quality, but the audio is okay. Like, it's not, like, it doesn't hurt your ears to listen to. Whereas it doesn't matter how good your camera quality is. If the audio quality hurts you, they won't watch it. Just straight up won't watch it.
It's like I learned that, big surprise to me. I don't particularly like grinding streams, for example, or when somebody, midstream busts out an angle grinder and just drowns out the audio. It's like, oh, come on, I recently did a stream where I was grinding up some Damascus and using high-powered noise suppression. The audio actually, it was a little distortion, but I mean, you couldn't hear the grinder and you could hear me talking, and it came out a whole much better than I thought it was going to.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I constantly fight with audio during my streams. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different four different microphones to choose from. And depending on where I'm standing or what I'm doing, the audio will change as I'm, going. So, yeah, I really do need just a shotgun central mic right above me like a boom. Which would then translate to bring it in here for this show. And I've got no pun intended, I've got a quality audio mic for the show.
Yeah, Roy. Yeah, you sent that message to the right place after the live. I got so excited, I just started typing it. Was like, hang on, mate, we've got to jump back in.
We're in the middle of the recording now.
So I got. I will get back to you directly after the stream, so that I can actually have a chat to you. So yeah, but needless to say, thanks. A couple more, yeah. So like a few, like deranged audio is a difficult thing to do outside of studio setting, and without multi-channel mixing board, no matter what, it'll be a constant battle. Yes, that is true to a certain degree. What I've found is when you can't control the audio settings, controlling the audio input is important.
Yeah.
Like so I've worked in Sam's workshop, and Sam's got for what I've found is the Rhodes Go microphone going into the recording, recording straight in the camera. That is a good way. If you've got quality equipment there, helps mitigate some of the crappiness of recording audio like that. And then in post-production, when we're doing our edits for our videos and stuff like that, then we can tweak the audio levels, which, because they're recorded consistently, generally then they can be edited consistently as well. I mean, one thing that I do, depending on the audio and where I get it from, I normally actually separate the audio from the video, so I can tweak the audio levels by themselves, and then I go and then I go and chop everything up and actually make it into a comprehensive video, as opposed to because if any of us, any YouTubing blacksmith you watch released our full raw unedited videos, right?
The color correction would be off. Just look at my early videos when it was just recording on a potato phone.
Even then, it's not just audio corrections off. They'd also be about 6 hours long, and you'd have a long spells of absolute silence, or when you could just hear the blower cranking, or the floor just going because nothing's been. We're waiting for the metal to heat up, or we've got something else going on in the meantime of whilst we're doing things. We might have to sharpen the hot cut hardy, or we might have to go find a particular hammer, or we might have to rehandle a hammer, or one of a multitude of things. But there's a lot of time where nothing happens. So we'll have hours worth of footage that we condense down from 6 hours to generally for me about 15 minutes, because hey, that's the core of what we're doing. And also as a lot of you would know, there's a lot of repetition in blacksmithing. We do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again to achieve a certain result. Like, drawing out, how many times do you want to watch someone hit that piece of steel in the same way in order to get it lengthy? So, we cut that out in order to bring it down to go, hey, we're doing this same action, and you can see that we're doing roughly the same action to take a piece of steel this long to make it this long,
We gotta be careful, Alex. Breaking terms of service with the snake out on on the channel.
Yeah.
Alex just on the snake out.
Hey, and you want to know something funny? I got in on Thursday, and the snake's cage is in my room. The snake wasn't in it, and so he was missing for 2 days. And I'm just like, as long as he doesn't run across my feet under the covers while I'm asleep, I'm good.
And here I thought you were recreating the iconic scene from Dusk to Dawn with Salma Hayek.
Yeah, I was contemplating putting him over my neck and be like Jake the Snake, but he's not quite that big. He's only a 4-footer.
But yeah, it's to the audience, I gotta say, it's real fun to chat with everybody about the behind the scenes stuff for production work, because it's so much involved. There's so much behind the scenes that the average viewer just may not understand. And as you learn more doing videos or doing podcasts or doing a live stream, you learn more of the tips and tricks of the trade, and you go, oh, that's how you make it better. That's how you make it better. But you don't really notice watching it as an audience unless you know what all goes into it. The noise suppression, the as Adam was saying, separating the video and audio and tweaking just the audio. As the thing that I love to do, separating that and tweaking the color correction and the hues and temperatures of the lighting, all of that going into making as crisp and professional as a product, be it audio, visual, or a combination of the two, as you can. And then on top of that, the topic. Like focusing on the topic at hand, be it something physical or something that you're talking about. It's an amazing amount of work that goes into it, and I love talking about it, especially live, to where we can have a full-on conversation and get other technical inputs, and you guys in the audience who get to see that little glimpse behind the curtain.
Yeah, well, and that's exactly it. I mean, Jack was just saying, Jack Pines was saying how he's got so much to learn, but hopefully people will enjoy seeing his mistakes. And look, it's something that I've always done, and a lot of us in the YouTubing blacksmith community do, is show our mistakes, because we're all human, but I try to keep true to the old adage, there's no such thing as a mistake in blacksmithing, only rapid redesigns. Because things go sideways and shit happens. But also, I was on a live stream when I literally knocked over my gas forge fell over, and it was like I had to stop myself from swearing, because it was like, oh, I have to turn this off whilst it's hot. After it's falling over, the gas is still burning. This is a major holy gee moment. But I had to. But it makes you, and for me, it makes you more genuine, and also it shows. It actually, for me, watching people make mistakes shows me the skill of that individual on how they actually overcome those things. I've been making things where I bent things the wrong way, or upset, or drawn out too long, or whatever. And it's kind of like, hang on, okay, now I've got to think, how can I fix this so that I can still use that piece, but or do I have to scrap it and start all over again? Like my very last video, it was I did the drive hooks for the
lens.
And I did that live at a demonstration in front of people. That's the reason why I actually had to do, you heard me do a lot of the voiceover for it, because I was explaining to people and having a chat with them whilst I'm actually making these things. And of course, you can't record people in a public setting. So, you know, that's the reason why you don't actually see look up from the Anvil what I'm doing, because I couldn't look up from what I was doing. So, you know, I had taken all those into consideration, but you've got to see me as I was doing what I was doing.
And I mean, like they often say that the key to mastery is not making mistakes. It's learning how to fix them when you make them.
Yes.
And like on the note of like just going back quickly to the audio and video and all that kind of stuff, we're really lucky these days in that technology has come so far that the free and like relatively inexpensive options for like audio and video editing that are available online are incredibly powerful. Like, you know, you can do multi-stage mixing, you can do like, you know, separated, you know, video and audio with free software. You know, like it used to be that you'd have to pay a subscription to like, you know, to Photoshop Pro or whatever to get a lot of the stuff that we can now access for free. So it's making it a lot more accessible to beginners, especially.
And that's not to say like we don't all use the same thing. Like Audacity is generally pretty standard when it comes to audio recording, but my video editing software, I use Shotcut, which is completely free, and I'm pretty sure you don't use it.
I use DaVinci Resolve, which is free as well.
Yeah.
But it's
DaVinci,
like the most powerful platform.
Yeah, you know.
DaVinci is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a big computer to use it.
Yeah, I'm using DaVinci as well. And now when I do an edited video, however, that's a little bit, well, I'm the next one I do will be uploaded because my phone, when I plug it into my computer, the computer doesn't recognize it. It's an invalid device or something like that. So I can't add things from my phone to my computer. I have to put them in my Dropbox from my phone, and then get it from the Dropbox to put it on my computer, which I haven't done that for a video yet. But so previously, my all of my edited stuff has been done through KineMaster on my phone, and now that I've actually, because you know, previous to about 6 months ago, I didn't have a PC that you could even remotely stand to use, because my laptop was just excruciatingly slow. I mean, like literally, when we'd go to do this stream in the mornings, it would take me, from the time I powered it on, it would take 30 minutes before I could open YouTube to the stream. So if I didn't start at 8:30 in the morning getting set up, I wasn't going to have it open in time. And now, I mean, I've got a computer that's just like that. It's got an insane graphics processing unit that I could actually do crypto mining with if I wanted to in my off time. But yeah, so moving forward, I'll be doing stuff with DaVinci that's not just, you know, chopping it up, removing the video, and uploading it to Spotify. You know, because right now that's all I use it for, is for editing the podcast. But I'm hoping to be able to you know, navigate my way through it, because there are so many options. You know, it's like I look at DaVinci, and it's like when I first got a bootleg copy of Adobe Photoshop Professional, like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and I'm like, I don't even understand what any of this stuff does, you know. And you know, 20, 30 years ago, that was a $900 program, and I was like, yeah, I don't even, I just, Photoshop was so complicated 20 years ago, I couldn't even figure out how to run it. And DaVinci, I'm crawling my way through it. Okay, what does this button do? Okay, what does this button do?
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
something that people don't know about my channel is that 90% of the videos that you see on there were filmed and edited on my phone. Like, you know, I have done like videos on my computer, and I do use DaVinci when I can. But when I'm doing that, I'm normally recording with my digital SLR and, you know, like doing all that kind of stuff. And that takes a lot more effort and energy. And I find that my motivation can be very, very fluctuating throughout the day. So being able to record, edit, and upload from my phone meant that I was going to be continually creating content rather than not creating content at all.
Yeah. I really need to get back to doing videos. I really do. Just, I've got to just knuckle down and fight the algorithm.
Yamas, you've been saying that every week for the better part of a year,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
That's as accurate, or that's as likely to happen as cleaning your shop, I feel.
But just to give the people in the chat the background, that's sometimes why it takes us so long to do what we do. People can go out and knock out like those 6 hooks or whatnot, the 8 hooks that I made. I could knock that out in an hour and a half if I didn't have to think about my camera setup, my audio setup, which way the camera is pointing, my lighting, making sure I also wasn't going to get any sort of splatter on it or because the cameras that we use are I started off with a cheap video camera, but or you start off with your phone, but they're still your personal use items. So making sure they don't get hit with hot forward scale and melt. So there's all these. So that takes something that's an hour and a half job up to 6 hours. So then we've got to have that 6 hours blocked out to be able to focus on doing this, and we've got the camera, moving the camera and everything else that makes the job longer. And then from then we've got that might take us one day. Then the next day, whilst we've got 6 hours worth of footage that we've got to watch about 15 times to cut out the useless bits and listen to the audio and make it. So that then takes a 1.5 hour job into 2 days worth of production.
I mean, I was saying earlier in the stream, I think, or before the stream, but I had the choice, like in the last couple of weeks, with the way my mental health's been going, I had the choice of either setting up the camera and trying to organize all that kind of stuff, or actually doing the thing. So it was either make the thing or set up the camera, because then all I would be doing is filming an empty shop, because I just would not have the energy to do the rest of it. So sometimes it is literally just the thing that stops me from making stuff when I have to consider filming it, because it takes like twice or 3 times the amount of time. And then the editing on top of that, and then the uploading and all that kind of stuff can really sap it out of you really quickly.
But then what I've been trying to convince Sam to do is get a university filming intern or something like that to do all that type of shit behind the scenes for him, and they can come in from uni and film him.
I wish I had money all the time.
I didn't say paid. Unpaid intern. I know, but just get in and film unpaid. It's for experience.
Well, then you got to deal with someone being in your shop.
I was going to say, like most of us artists get, in the sense, it'll be good for your portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, Jack Pines says, my setup takes a minimum of 1 hour, and that's if everything's working. It's a full-time job to create 20 minutes of content. Yeah, Jack Pines does Saturday live streams, Saturday at noon Eastern, and I love that. I love that he's here listening, because I saw earlier when we were discussing audio, he had said, "Oh, maybe that's something for the audio issues we've been having." So this, even though this isn't directly related to blacksmithing, this at least we're helping somebody, and I love it. And yeah, Jack, there's a whole ton of tips and tricks with like OBS Studio and Streamlabs and all that stuff that once you play with it, you can really, really improve just by flipping a few switches, so to speak. Changing your output bit rate, for example. If you have try to do a high output bit rate, it will try and put out higher resolution than you're able to push at any given time. So if you lower that, you'll get a better quality in overall.
So yeah, Sam just pointed out to a couple of people, for a blacksmithing podcast, we're spending a lot of time talking about the audio and video.
Well, I mean,
and particularly with someone like Sam Towns on the show. Now we've had Sam come on the Saturday morning gathering / Blacksmiths Church previously, because Sam is our well, particularly my local expert when it comes to metallurgy and stuff like that. He's a great big drip under pressure.
Well,
But,
we'll have Sam back to do, to pick a metal of the week. It's like, as we discussed pre-show, it's kind of like I was going to go, okay, Sam, your choice of metal of the week, and he goes, Sam's a big old metal nerd, so yeah, we'll have him back to literally whatever metal he wants to go in about, and but
that's we haven't scared him off, and he wants to
That's
come back.
I'm never coming back.
but
I mean, it pays to remember that, like, while I have experience in like building my YouTube channel and stuff like that, and recently made it to 10,000 subscribers somehow, no freaking idea. But like at the end of the day, I am a technophobe of like this really extreme level. I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to technology. And like people have asked me, like, what does it take to start a YouTube channel or a podcast or anything like that? And I'm like, literally any content is better than no content.
yeah,
And once you get started, it's a lot easier to keep going. The moment you stop, though, it's really hard to start again.
yes, I can attest to that. You find excuse after excuse after excuse. I can attest to that. It's that law of motion. An object in motion stays in motion, and an object at rest stays at rest. And I love this couch. Absolutely.
It took me a lot to get off my couch to get here. So, like, for those who don't know, I was originally planning on being at Sydney Knife Show this weekend because Sydney Knife Show is currently going on. Thank you to everyone who's congratulating me on 10K. I still don't know how I got there. Most of you are subscribed to me, so thank you. Yeah, so I was really glad that kind of fell through because I got to be able to come up here and do this. And I am looking forward to coming back to Adam's place at some point and spending time at his shop when he builds it. I've seen the spot where it's going to be built, and I've seen the steel that it's going to be made of. I'm just waiting for it to be built.
You've also seen it live in it.
Question for the chat with all those 10K subscribers. Anybody in this chat subscribe to Sam but not to me or not to Adam or not to Alex? Subscribe to us.
Here's the funny thing. I actually, as we started the stream, I actually got onto my Facebook page and put for Speargrass Boys and put a advertisement out there that for people to come along and watch it, and a couple of people liked it, but I actually don't know how many people follow my Facebook page. I've got no idea. So and most of you are probably already on that as well. So you already know, from here.
It's all right. The moment I started talking, I started watching the viewers just slowly ticking down. They're like, oh God, this guy won't shut up.
No, we've had a pretty decent viewer count today. It all works. I'm just playing. I like marketing.
So the poll for the annotated practical blacksmithing is currently sitting at 58% in favour of releasing the individual volumes as they're done, and 42% in favour of waiting for the complete work. So so we'll still wait until the end of the stream before, and end of the show before we reveal the final numbers and who wins. But I thought I'd give an update on that.
Get your votes in.
Right.
But absolutely. I don't know how much longer you guys want to keep going. I know that you guys are, I don't want to say hungover, but
I was a little bit seedy this morning, but we've had sleep, we've been out, we've got food, we've done the touristy thing around the city of Darwin, so we're actually feeling pretty good right now. And I mean, it's 1:45 a.m. in the morning here. We didn't get to bed till 3 a.m. yesterday.
4.
Well, yeah, but it was early this morning that we got to bed, so we're still kind of okay, and
both of us got up this morning and then went back to bed and went for a nap. So
yeah, if I don't see a video of Sam wrestling a croc, then he wasted his trip to the tropics.
They get rather big here. You see, you guys get alligators there, right? And alligators only grow to about half the size of a full-grown crocodile.
Yeah.
So like you guys think, alligators are big, and then you see, an 8 meter, 7 meter crocodile, which is that's 21 foot plus crocodiles. These things are huge, and like they are. Sam's a very, very tall, very broad man, and there are crocodiles that will take him on no worries. They will take on a full-grown bum bull.
Yeah, they regularly eat water buffalo up here. So like, I may be big, I ain't water buffalo big.
Excuses.
I mean, as much as I want a croc hide, I'm not willing to go that hard
there
for
it.
I'm lazy.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So again, for those of you in the chat who are not subscribed to Sam, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's not the question. They obviously have a lot right with them if they're not subscribed to me.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
That'd be like saying, the people who aren't subscribed to Roy.
Well,
like that's just unfathomable to me. In this community, you have to subscribe to Sam or Roy. It's just ridiculous.
Well, Roy more than me. Jesus.
Sam and Roy.
Yeah. And as all of you that watch us know, that we do this as a podcast as well. Alex takes and goes through the audio, goes through everything, and releases the Sunday Morning Gathering as a show on Spotify, the Impractical Blacksmiths. That's not to discount, for those of you who don't know, again, Sam is a part of the duo that is the Forgecast, him and Valhalla Ironworks, that do the Forgecast, and that is the #1 Blacksmiths podcast in the world. So kudos to that. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you very much. We only got discovered that. So we don't know the world rating right now. We are the #1 in Australia for sure. Because we got and that's just based on listenership. We know we're in the top 100 for educational podcasts. We were in the top 100 for educational podcasts in the US about 2 months ago. So we'll see. I don't know if there is a world thing, but at the end of the day, it's not important to us whether or not we're #1 or we're number 5,000. It's about whether or not people are enjoying what we do, and apparently people do. So.
Right. Whenever I go to upload an episode, the anchor opens up on the previous episode, and it'll say something like 5 listens, and I'm like, what?
That's it. I mean, we started out with the intent of it purely just being, if we get one person listening to us that actually learns something, awesome. That's what we want.
Let me share the screen here in Discord. But yeah, the #1 search. I searched what is the #1 blacksmithing podcast in the world. First search, #1 is the Forgecast.
Yeah.
So in the world, I stand by my statement. Congratulations.
Okay.
Let me see. Are we on there at all?
No.
No.
Melted.
But to be fair, I still have not done the tags or anything like that. So.
Yeah.
So the #2 spot at the moment is going to the Melton podcast, and he's a really good dude. He actually started his podcast after he came on the Forgecast. and then realized that podcasting is a thing. Yeah, if Roy's channel is small, Roy's saying his channel is small and it's huge in comparison. Mine is infinitesimal.
And mine, good lord.
And mine is like, who's Speargrass?
He's the guy that has the sword with the speargrass on it.
It's true.
Yeah.
I do. I'm loving that sword. I actually can't wait to train with it. It's.
Yeah. Technically, because I forgot that the date wasn't the Sunday. I thought they were getting married on the Sunday. So both the box and the sword both have engraved the 7th of August, which is the day after their wedding.
I just turned around and said it's the first day we're officially married, so it's okay.
Yeah. Paul asked, what is a Forgecast? The Forgecast is a podcast, much like Impractical Blacksmiths that we are recording right now, that is on Spotify, iTunes, Zencaster, Podbean, all those kind of places. It's a podcast run by myself and my co-host Alex Norton. Originally started with a third who was Neil Zergren, who now runs a very, very successful YouTube channel. We just talk about blacksmithing and interview some really cool people.
I'm trying to find the Spotify link right now.
Yeah, and of course, Alex is a fantastic knife maker and smith from who currently resides and is living in Tasmania. He was when he started off on this journey, he was in Brisbane, but he's emigrated. Emigrated to Tasmania.
He went back to Tasmania because he originally came from there.
Yeah. So he's scar on the neck and all, but So he moved to Tasmania, and of course he's a absolutely jaw-droppingly good knifesmith but who specializes in folding knives and loves his experimental stuff as well. And like that he a couple of months ago he made a folding Bowie knife, which was just stupid. It was stupid.
It was great.
It was, but it was like wow, And then
he promised he would win the competition, and he did.
And it's going to be interesting to see what he's doing because they've got coming up with a 48-hour deck making challenge by Neil Vandenberg.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's people pull out all the stops for these competitions. Well, they're not really competitions, but these challenges around the world, particularly in the knife making community, and that was pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he pulls out. Of course, he's also got a YouTube channel, but we're not here spruiking other YouTube channels, of course. But I will always recognise talent and awesomeness, and of course, Sam and Alex I like to consider them friends. Even I haven't had the opportunity to actually meet Alex face to face.
All right.
So, on that note, let me just say thank you for joining us. You can find Yamas on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram under the name of Island Metal Forge. You can find Alex at Transcendental Arts Studios on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find the man himself, Sam Towns, at Sam Towns Blacksmith, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram,
Patreon, Redbubble, the kitchen sink.
And there is merchandise with the kitchen sink available.
Yep.
You can find me, Adam at Speargrass Forge on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Now, don't forget, if you have any suggestions for Tool of the Week, Metal of the Week, or any other topic, you can add it under the hashtag Metal of the Week in the YouTube community chat on Discord, or you can email us at islandmetalforge@gmail.com. If you have found us on Spotify or Anchor or any of your favourite podcast provider, we generally upload every Wednesday, or you can join us live every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's currently 11:30 p.m. Australian Central Standard Time. But check that against your local time, and that's at Island Metal Forge YouTube channel. Finally, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe button. We appreciate your support, and on that note, Sam, do you have any final thoughts?
No, thank you very much for having me, guys. It's been a really good opportunity to be here live from Adam's place rather than joining from my back room. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yep. How about you, Alex? Do you have anything?
No, I don't have a whole lot. I was just gonna say, if you get a chance to get out in your shop this week and build something, take the opportunity. And like Sam was saying, if sometimes you have the choice of setting up your equipment and recording or working, and sometimes you look at the camera and you go, nah. I just want to make something, and so if you get to that spot, just make something, because that's sometimes very therapeutic, and just having the motivation to get up and do it is sometimes hard to come by. And so if you think about it, get out to your shop, make something, have fun while you're doing it, and be safe. And don't forget to stay hydrated. So catch you guys next week. Have a wonderful week.
Mm-hmm.
My final thoughts are, don't forget to appreciate the people that you love in your life, but also, guys, remember that motivation comes after action. So if you get out there and you start, like, even if you get dressed, put your boots on and start taking those steps. Once you actually get out there, motivation will come. Motivation doesn't come before action. Motivation comes after it. So take action, get something done.
And my final thoughts are to the community. Thank you all for over the years supporting fellow blacksmiths, supporting the shows. Simply watching, sharing, being in the chat, being active in the community. It's a very awesome group of people, and huge thank you to all the channel members. Huge thank you to my co-hosts Alex and Adam, and a huge thank you to Sam for coming in and being held hostage for the past hour and a half.
Yeah, I've had a gun to my back this entire time. Yeah.
I'm listening there with the shotgun behind.
Yeah. So
Now, just before we go, the final cast for the vote for the Practical Blacksmithing Redux or the Annotated Practical Blacksmithing is 55% to release the individual volumes as they're finished, and 45% to release the complete works. That looks like we're going for the individual volumes, and I'll try and get the audio books done as quick as possible. And therefore, that also means that the individual volumes of just the pictures will be released at the same time or around the same time as those audio books. So yeah, thank you for voting in that, guys. It's muchly appreciated to help me finally nail down what I'm going to do with it.
Yep, big help. Thank you all, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. Let's call that a show. Be safe and get something done. Bye now.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.